We are talking about feedback networks, recurrent networks, and content addressable networks, in which we are discussing about Hopfield neural network, which is proposed by John Hopfield in 1982. It is a network with the associative memory. What is associative memory? What is the role of associative memory? What are the associative neural networks? We will discuss it in the coming sessions. Now, what is the use of Hopfield neural network? Why we are studying it here? So, as we know that the main task of machine learning is what? We have to recognize the patterns. We have to recognize the patterns, and then we have to tell that this is this pattern, this is pattern A, this is pattern B, this is pattern 1, 2, and so on. Right? This is the face of Dr. Anju Gandhi. This is the face of Janvi, this is the face of Dhruv, this is the face of Hardik, right? We are recognizing the patterns. So for that particular purpose, that how can a neural network, a machine, a system recognize that? For that, we have a Hopfield neural networks. It is fully connected, single layer. It is just fully connected with each other, right? All the nodes are connected with each other, right? Single layer and auto-associative network. What are the also auto-associative network? What is its structure? What are the algorithms which are used, right? How can we create an auto-associative network? What are its features? We will discuss it, that also, okay? Now, we have a one layer. Every layer is having some neurons which are connected with the other neurons. All the neurons act as the input and output. This we also know, right? We have a layer one, we have a layer, other layers, and we have a neurons with us in all the layers, and they are connected with each other. Now, the purpose of Hopfield net is to store one or more patterns and to recall the full pattern based on the partial input, right? Whenever we are able to recognize a particular pattern, we put the value 1 over there, right? If we are changing the values or whenever we are identifying a particular pattern, automatically we give that value to a 1, that we have identified the pattern, right? We will discuss that thing also in later examples, right? So these are the basic things of Hopfield network that we have with us, right? Now, what next we have? Next, for example, we have this digit alphabet T, and but due to some noise or due to some other any cause, the figure or the alphabet got corrupted, right? Now, how will you check? Now, how will machine will identify? We are a human. We have a strong human brain with us. We can identify, yeah, it is T or it is I, right? It can be a I also. But how a machine can? It can be done with the help of Hopfield network. It will able to identify that this is the alphabet T, right? So how it is able to do, how it's not able to do, we will discuss that also, right? Now, talking about the structure of Hopfield network. Talking about the structure, this is the structure of Hopfield network we have. We have these neurons with us in the layer, and whenever these are the inputs we have here, x1, right, x1 and so on, and these are the outputs we have, y1 and up to so on. Now, every output value is going to release a feedback also, right? For example, this is a neuron, it releases the feedback and it goes to the rest of the neurons, but not to it, right? So another thing, it releases one output and the feedback goes to the rest of the two neurons, but not to it, right? Then again, it releases one feedback and it goes to the rest of the two neurons, right? So Hopfield network are both the inputs and outputs, and they are fully interconnected. They are fully interconnected, and we are saying that it is again a set of neurons, the weights, and the feedbacks, right? We have these loops in the structure of Hopfield network, right? And the weights are going to be symmetrical in it, right? So these are the basics of Hopfield network. The details we will study again very soon. Now, what are the properties? Talking about the properties of Hopfield network, One property which we have already discussed is a recurrent network that we have discussed earlier also. And the nodes may be of two category, maybe it's a binary or maybe it's a bipolar. Right? When we are discussing about binary, it means we are talking about 0, 1. When we are talking about bipolar, we are talking about